Habib Allah, peace of Allah and blessings of Allah be on our Prophet Rasulullah, be on Muhammad Habib Allah, peace of Allah and blessings of Allah be on.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد, dear brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we will start to study a beautiful hadith that illustrates the mercy of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and we can learn from it some of the rulings of our beautiful religion, the religion of Allah. The hadith was reported in Sahih al-Imam Muslim and other books as well. So it is as high as it can be in levels of authenticity. The hadith was narrated by Muawiyah ibn al-Hakam. May Allah be pleased with him. He says that while I was praying with the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, so it was congregational prayer, a man in the company sneezed. I said, Allah have mercy on you. In Arabic, Yarhamkumullah. And this is what we usually say when someone sneezes and praises Allah the Almighty. The people stared at me with disapproving looks. So I said, woe be upon me. Why is it that you are staring at me? They began to strike their hands on their thighs. And when I saw them urging me to observe silence, I said nothing. When the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would give when the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had said the prayer, for whom I would give my father and mother as ransom, I have never seen neither before him nor after him a teacher who gave better instruction than him. I swear that he did not scold me, he did not beat me or swore at me. He merely said, talking to persons is not fitting during the prayer, for it consists of glorifying Allah, declaring His greatness, and recitation of the Quran, or words to that effect. I said, O Prophet of Allah, I was till recently a pagan, but Allah has brought Islam to us. Among us, there are men who resort to kahin, that is, fortune tellers or soothsayers. He said, do not go to them. I said, there are men who take omens. They believe in bad omens. That is something, the Prophet said, which they find in their chests, but let it not turn their way from freedom of action. I said, among us there are men who draw lines. He said, there was a prophet who drew lines, so if their lines coincide with his lines, so be it. And there is another paragraph to complete this hadith, but we will not have time to comment on it, so I will leave it inshaAllah to the next time we meet. In this beautiful hadith, Muawiyah is telling us, may Allah be pleased with him, about an incident that could happen in any masjid, where someone did something by mistake. And this thing that Muawiyah did was known in Islam as at-tashmeet. And this is in response to a person who sneezes and says, Alhamdulillah. And this is part of the etiquette of Islam. Islam is based on your connection with Allah the Almighty. We remember Allah every single time, every single breath, with every single step, we always remember Allah Azzawajal, because we know, it is our conviction that our existence is dependent on Him, the Almighty. In His hands lie our souls and fate. So Islam is built on remembering Allah Azzawajal. I do not know any other religion that does this. Every single thing you do, you mention the name of Allah. No one else. You don't mention the names of priests or messengers or prophets, unless the Prophet tells us that Allah told us to do so. So we have what is known as adhkar, supplications. We have a whole set of them to say in the morning and to say in the evening. We say them before we go to bed, so it's a religious ritual that we do every single night. We say certain sets of supplications or adhkar after every mandatory prayer. Not only that, before we eat, we say Bismillah. After we conclude eating, we praise Allah the Almighty with certain supplications. If we want to go to bed, we say certain supplications. When we wake up, immediately, we say these supplications. Before entering the lavatories and after exiting. Before entering the masjid and after exiting. Before leaving the house. When you ride on your car, in your car, or on your horse, or your ride, or whatever, there is a certain dhikr you say. Even before having intimacy with your spouse, there is a dhikr that you praise Allah Azzawajal and you say it. So everything we do in our lives is connected to Allah the Almighty. And this shows you the strength and the amount of conviction Muslims have, that they attribute all goodness to the Almighty Allah in everything they do. Unlike those who worship Allah only on Friday, or on a Saturday, or on a Sunday, and then they neglect Him. They turn their backs to Him without paying any attention. Muslims are not like that. Muslims are God-fearing people. It's always on their conscience, because they remember Allah Azza wa Jal 24/7. So it is like what psychiatrists may call stereotyping, but it is a positive stereotyping. It is filling your heart with goodness and with the love of Allah Azza wa Jal by acknowledging His beautiful names and attributes. So one of these supplications is connected with sneezing. And one would say, why sneezing? What's so special about sneezing? Doctors from long time ago used to say that sneezing is something that is beneficial to the human body. And they have explanations I cannot understand or relate to. But they say it's a sign of health, unless it comes with cold. But if someone sneezes due to allergy, due to any other reason other than sickness and illness, it's a sign of being healthy. And we're also told in the hadith that Allah Azza wa Jal loves sneezing, and Allah Azza wa Jal hates yawning. Yawning is loved by shaitan, by the devil, because it's a sign of fatigue. It's a sign of laziness. It's a sign of wanting to sleep, which may not make you a person, an active person. So a person who always sleepy and drowsy is not going to be active in doing good things, neither in this life or for his hereafter in terms of forms of worship. Allah loves sneezing. And why is that? Because it's a ritual in Islam. It is the right of every Muslim. It's the right of every Muslim. If you hear him sneeze and he praises Allah Azza wa Jal, you must and you're obliged to say to him, Yarhamukumullah. And then he would reply to you by saying, Yahdikumullah wa yuslihu balakum. So this exchange of praising Allah Azzawajal and invocation is loved by Allah. Every time someone sneezes, says, Alhamdulillah. Anyone who hears him, it becomes mandatory upon each and every individual to say, Yarhamukumullah. Of course, unless there is some sort of fitna. So if a person hears a woman saying Alhamdulillah, and there is no one else with them, and he says Yarhamukumullah, this is inappropriate. One should refrain. He should say it in his heart, because shaitan may build on such an exchange of praising of Allah Azza wa Jal, and fitna must be avoided. But generally speaking, this is hypothetical. However, you should not say Yarhamukumullah, may Allah have mercy upon you, unless you hear that individual saying Alhamdulillah. Why? Because two men once sneezed in the presence of the Prophet ﷺ. One of them said Alhamdulillah, so the Prophet ﷺ replied to him by saying Yarhamukumullah, may Allah Azza wa Jal have mercy on you. And coming from the Prophet ﷺ, Allah will answer this for sure. The other one, the Prophet did not say anything to him, so he objected. O Prophet of Allah, we both sneezed in your presence, but you prayed for that person and you did not pray for me. Why is that? So the Prophet said to him, because he praised Allah and you didn't. And in a hadith that was also reported in Sahih Imam Muslim, the Prophet said, alayhi whoever sneezes and praises Allah Azza wa Jal, then you should do the act of tashmeet, saying Yarhamukumullah. And whoever does not praise Allah Azza wa Jal, do not say that to him. And this, by the way, should only be said to a Muslim, because we know as Muslims, we may ask Allah for anything good for non-Muslims in this life. So if there is a non-Muslim, a friend, a colleague, or a relative, and I go to visit him and he's sick, I may say, may Allah cure you. May Allah heal your illness. If he's indebted, may Allah pay off your debt and grant you money. If he is blessed with a child, may Allah make your child blessed. May Allah guide him. This is totally permissible, and it is part of our religion to be nice to others. However, when it comes to asking for forgiveness or for the mercy of the disbelievers, this is prohibited by Quran. And Allah Azza wa Jal forbade his messenger Ibrahim from seeking forgiveness for his father, Azar, who died as a mushrik. And likewise, the Prophet ﷺ was prohibited from seeking forgiveness for his mother. And the hadith is Sahih Muslim. So we have to abide by the rules and regulations. We have to stick to the commands of Allah Azza wa Jal. Therefore, we cannot say to someone who is a kafir, may Allah forgive you. May Allah have mercy on you. This is prohibited. This is something between him and Allah. And Allah Azza wa Jal would hold him accountable, and we're restricted from saying such a thing. This is why the Jews used to sneeze in the presence of the Prophet ﷺ, trying to make him slip and say to them, may Allah have mercy on you. But the Prophet would not say anything except, may Allah guide you. Yahdikumullah wa yuslihu balakum. May Allah, the Almighty, guide you. And this is permissible. There's nothing wrong in that. So the etiquette of sneezing and answering is something beloved to Allah the Almighty. In the hadith, Muawiyah said, Yarhamkumullah, to the man next to him who sneezed. And most likely, the man said, Alhamdulillah. But no one said anything to the man who sneezed and said Alhamdulillah. Why is that? Because Alhamdulillah is part of the things said in the salat, in your prayer. So it is not something outside of the prayer. Unlike Yarhamukumullah, this is a form or a phrase that you're addressing someone else. So it is not in line with the salat. It's not in line with the prayer. While praising Allah Azzawajal by saying Alhamdulillah is definitely in line with the prayer. When Muawiyah did what he had done, the Prophet did not tell him ﷺ to repeat the salat. However, the consensus of scholars is that whoever speaks in the prayer with phrases or sentences that are not part of the prayer, then his prayer is invalid. This is the consensus. But they made an exception. They say that with the exception of someone who does it by mistake, he's unaware of it, or due to ignorance. And how would a person be ignorant with such a thing? In the case of Muawiyah, it's very logical and understood. At the beginning of time, when the prayer was first mandated, they were not prohibited from speaking and talking within the prayer itself. As in the authentic hadith, the companions used to stand in prayer, but greet one another while they are in the congregational prayer. So they would say, how are you? How's the family? How is this? How is that? And then go back to the prayer, listening to the imam, or if it's a silent prayer. This was common and accepted until it was abrogated. When Allah Azzawajal revealed the ayah, وَقُومُوا لِلَّهِ قَانِتِينَ. So stand in silence to Allah Azzawajal. And since then, speaking was totally prohibited in prayer. However, scholars say that if someone does it by mistake, unintentionally, so someone probably is in the midst of his prayer, he's contemplating, and all of a sudden, and this happens, a man comes into the masjid and as loud as he can shouts in the masjid, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. This person was so involved in prayer, he was startled by the salam. So without him feeling or knowing, he replied by saying, Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. After the prayer was over, I said, Akhi, what have you done? He said, Wallahi, I did not even notice that. I just spoke without thinking. And by Allah, I did not intend it. So do we say, repeat your prayer? The answer is no. His prayer is valid and correct because it was done by mistake. Allah says in the Quran, رَبَّنَا لَا تُؤَخِذْنَا إِن نَسِينَا أَوْ أَخْطَأْنَا. Oh Allah, don't hold us accountable if we forget or make a mistake. In Sahih Imam Muslim, Allah replied to them by saying, I have done so, meaning I have forgiven you. So it's the grace of Allah the Almighty that He pardons us if we were to make something out of mistake or out of ignorance. And in the case of Muawiyah, it was surely out of ignorance. He did not know that it was not permissible, otherwise he would not have done it. In the hadith, he said that the people, when he said, Yarhamukumullah, he tells us that the people started looking at him. Now, this would be a little bit strange. Definitely the people at the back, at the front, would not be able to look behind them because this would nullify their prayer. It was the people to his side, and probably he felt the heat of their looks from behind him, because those beside him might have looked to the side. So he was saying, woe be to me, or be upon me. Why are you staring at me like this? So he didn't even notice that they were angry of him talking because he didn't think that he did something wrong. So he started talking to him. Why are you staring at me? Look at the hand. Who are you talking to? So subhanallah, they did not know what to do except striking their hands on their thighs. So it's like clapping, but you're striking your thighs. And he noticed that all of them are doing this. So he understood that they want him to simply shut up. And so this was what he had done. Now, the prayer was over. And then the mercy of the Prophet ﷺ is illustrated. He himself says that I am ready to give my father and my mother as ransom for the Prophet ﷺ. And this is an Arabic expression, because if you were told the Prophet is a hostage and they want ransom for him, what are you willing to pay? The most valuable thing in your life is not your wealth, it's your parents. So it's an Arabic expression to say to someone that you love, I am willing to give my father and mother as a ransom for him. Not that it's required, but this shows you how important he is in their lives. So he says, by Allah, I'm ready to sacrifice my family for the Prophet ﷺ. He did not scold me. He did not beat me, and he did not swear at me or curse me. And usually, this is the doing of tyrants. This is the doing of hard teachers, or teachers who do not know how to upbring and raise generations. So if you have a teacher like that, you are in trouble. A teacher that does not speak to you or with you without slapping your face or spanking you with a stick, or at least ridiculing whatever you say. There are such teachers. Whenever you speak, they make fun of you. Even if your question is legitimate, they make fun of you and of what you are saying, so that next time you do not even ask, or you would not even have the guts to stand up and answer a question. The Prophet ﷺ was totally unlike this. Though what Muawiyah had done was a grave mistake. And we would not say that it's a sin because he didn't know. But it was something that was unacceptable. All of a sudden, in the middle of a prayer where everyone is concentrating on their prayers, you speak loudly like this and say, why are you looking at me like this? So the normal reaction would have been few words of reprimanding him. But this, even that, did not come from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. On the contrary, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told him that this prayer of Allah Azzawajal, nothing of man's talk is suitable in it. It's only praising Allah, glorifying Allah, saying takbir, and reciting the Quran. This captivated the heart of Muawiyah. The way that the Prophet spoke to him, alayhi salatu wasalam. The way that the Prophet taught him. Because Muawiyah was not one of the close companions of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. Had he been one of those close companions, he would have known the ruling of speaking while in prayer. But he was someone who just came in, like any other Muslim. Yet the Prophet ﷺ went out of his way to explain to this person the essence of Salat, which made him narrate this hadith on and on and on to generations until it reached us, and it gave us a glimpse of the mercy of the Prophet ﷺ, who was sent as mercy for mankind. We have a short break. Stay tuned, and inshallah, we'll be right back.
Ramadan.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome back. The lines are open for your questions if you have any. We have a question from Farhan. He is saying that his parents opened an account without his knowledge, a saving account, in his native country, and they told him that it was a current account. So there were no interest to be deposited in it. But after a while, he discovered that they either made a mistake or lied to him. It was a saving account and the interest was pouring in to that account. He says, am I sinful for that? The answer is, if you had no say in it, no, you're not sinful. Second question, can he use the account in order to register for PayPal or to buy something from Amazon without using the account? The answer is yes, inshallah. There's nothing wrong in that. If you have full control over that account, you must see and calculate the interest, take it out, and cleanse your wealth by spending it in means of charity without intending the reward from Allah, because there is no reward in money that is earned through haram. You simply want to cleanse your wealth from it, and Allah knows best. Muhammad from Saudi Arabia.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Salamullah.
Sheikh, I have 5 questions.
Ya Latif.
My first question is regarding Ajwa Alia dates and consumption of water after that. I would like, according to an authentic hadith, if we eat 5 Ajwa dates, 7 Ajwa dates, and do not drink water after that on empty stomach, we will be protected from poison on that day. I would like to know, how long do we have to refrain from drinking from water to get this protection?
Okay.
And my second question is regarding interest-based debt and Hajj. I maxed out one of my credit cards long time ago and accumulated some interest-based debt. Now I'm planning to perform Hajj this year. Do I have to pay this debt in full before going to Hajj?
Are you paying it, Akhi? Muhammad, are you paying it in installments?
No, I stopped the payments long time ago. It's been like 12 years now.
Okay.
And thirdly, I would like to know, is it permissible to pay emphatic sunnah after paying Tahiyatul Masjid before Fajr congregation?
Okay.
And is bodybuilding allowed in Islam?
Just weightlifting, or even with steroids and anabolic steroids?
No steroids, just weightlifting and muscle building.
Okay.
And my last question is regarding evening askar. When is the best time to say evening askar? Is it after Asr or after Maghrib?
Okay, I will answer you inshallah.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome, Akhi. Brother Muhammad from Saudi Arabia is asking 5 questions. The first question is regarding the ajwa dates and the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, whoever eats early in the morning 7 ajwa dates, then on that day he would not be harmed by neither poison nor a spell, meaning magic or black magic. And the hadith is authentic. However, I do not know anything related to drinking water, and I'm trying to look in some of the hadith references whether you should not drink any water afterwards, and I could not see that. So to my knowledge, this is not authentic. The authentic thing is that the first thing you do after waking up is consuming these 7 dates. But if you eat them and then drink water afterwards, there's nothing wrong in that. If you have your breakfast, then eat them. This does not work. You have to eat them on an empty stomach. But after eating them, you can drink, inshallah. His second question, that he has a debt that he did not pay, and it's interest-based. His reasons for not paying it is beyond me, but this is something that he has to be held accountable on the Day of Judgment. Though it is riba-based, the capital which you have borrowed from them, you must return it to them. The interest is an issue of dispute, and depending whether you can evade it, escape it or not. But you have to pay the money to the lawful owners of that money. But does this conflict with his Hajj? As long as you can find money to go for Hajj, you can go and perform Hajj. There's no problem in that. This debt does not affect your Hajj. Your Hajj is valid. But this is a sin that you will be accountable for. Aisha from Egypt.
Assalamu alaikum.
Samtullah.
My question, Sheikh, is regarding the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam parents.
Okay.
Since
It seems what?
alive when Islam came, right?
Okay.
Hello.
Yes.
So, what are their position in Islam? Are they Muslims or
Okay.
not?
I will answer you, inshallah.
Okay, thank you.
Muhammad's third question, he says that, are we allowed to offer Sunnat al-Fajr after Tahiyyatul Masjid in Fajr time? Akhi, there is a hadith which was reported in the Sunan. And the Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, forbade praying between adhan and iqamah of Fajr except the 2 rak'ahs of Sunnah, which is known as Raghibatul Fajr or Sunnatul Fajr. However, if a person enters the masjid after the adhan and he did not pray it, he must pray these 2 rak'ahs of Sunnah and nothing else. What about the greeting of the masjid, the 2 rak'ahs of Tahiyyat al-Masjid? Well, these 2 rak'ahs are embedded in the 2 rak'ahs of Sunnah. Why? Because the Prophet did not, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, tell us to pray a specific or individual prayer for greeting the masjid. He said that whenever any of you enter a masjid, he must not sit until he prays 2 rak'ahs. That's it. So if I enter the masjid while they're praying fard and I pray with them, this suffices. If I enter the masjid and I pray 2 rak'ahs of Sunnat al-Fajr, this suffices. But if I'm at my home and the adhan is called and I pray 2 rak'ahs of Sunnat al-Fajr in my home as the Sunnah is, and I walk to the masjid and I enter the masjid and the iqamah is not given, I cannot sit. Therefore, I have to pray 2 rak'ahs of Sunnah, Sunnat al-Masjid or Tahiyyat al-Masjid. I have prayed Sunnat al-Fajr in my home. This is why it's permissible now to do it. But to combine both separately, meaning praying Tahiyyat al-Masjid then Sunnat al-Fajr in the masjid, this is not permissible. Tolra from the Emirates. Tolra? Tolra from the Emirates.
Yes, good afternoon, Sheikh.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, please, I have a question. I want to ask because I'm non-Arabic, so
Okay.
I'm reading the Quran in Russian. So I want to ask if the reward is the same or less.
Can you read Arabic?
I can't. I don't speak and I can't read.
Okay.
But I'm living in UAE and I'm reading the Quran in Russian only.
Okay, I will answer you, inshallah.
Please,
I
thank
will.
you so much.
Salah from Qatar.
Hello.
Yes, Salah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salamtullah.
I am the clergyman in the Saudi Arabia, and our government ordered the execution of the Sheikh Nimr. What is the difference between you and the Nimr? We all are Muslim, and the Prophet said, "Man lam yahtam b'umur al-Muslimin falaysa al-Muslim." I seriously want you to protest to this.
Salah, I want to ask you a question, a simple question. What do you think of Mother Aisha, the wife of the Prophet ﷺ? And what do you think of Abu Bakr and of Umar and of Uthman and the rest of the companions of the Prophet ﷺ? Are they Muslims? Will they be with the Prophet in Jannah? What do you think of them? Okay. Salah probably made a statement and I will answer his question, inshallah. Aliya from Saudi Arabia.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Sheikh, I have 2 questions.
Yes.
Can my mother give the things to my father of my father to the needy ones without his permission, as he is not using it. And my second question is, Sheikh, when we offer salah, if we forgot surah, suppose I am reading big surah after surah Fatiha in first rakat, if I forgot that surah, can I read another surah?
Okay, I will answer you inshallah.
Okay, Allah Hafiz.
Allah. Abdul Fattah from Iraq.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamualaikum wa barakatuh.
I wanted to know if this is right that you got money from Saudi Arabia because we should.
Blah, 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 blah. Again and again. Wallahi, ya akhi, you are making me laugh. You are making me laugh because all what you say is Saudi Arabia, Saudi Arabia, Saudi Arabia. What is it with you guys? What's the problem? What's the beef you have? Can't you ask questions related to the topic, or at least to Ramadan, or at least to Islam? Things that do with politics, you and I don't have any say in it. You don't have any say in what's happening in your country. If you can take care of your own country, that would be a great thing to do. So I beg to differ, but this is becoming a nuisance in a sense. Muhammad from Saudi Arabia asking about bodybuilding. Akhi, you should ask about mind building with these lunatics calling every 5 minutes, and as if they are advocating or defending their cause, they are adding fuel to the fire, and this is what they want. Bodybuilding is something permissible in Islam. To be in a state of physical fitness is something encouraged in Islam. And the Prophet told us ﷺ, that a strong believer is better than a weak believer. And this is in all aspects, whether mainly it is in a spiritual and religious aspect. But this doesn't also contradict with being strong in wealth, strong in knowledge, and strong in physics and the physical ability. However, if you're doing it to show off or to impress women, or to boast about it, this becomes a sin. If you're doing it for self-contentment and satisfaction, and just to be able to be strong, and whenever the call for jihad is being given, you're always there and ready and prepared, then this is a good thing to do. Farida from Saudi Arabia. I think we lost Farida. Last question of Muhammad, may Allah reward him, is what is the proper time for evening adhkar? This is an issue of dispute. Some scholars say it should be after Asr. Some scholars, and very little of them, say it should be after Dhuhr. But the main two groups are saying that it should be between, after Asr or after Maghrib. Those who say after Asr, they say because they are called evening adhkar. So when the sun sets, and you did not say them, then you're not protected. But if you say it after Asr, then you're fully protected. Others say, no, it's called evening because it's after sunset, and when you do it, then you are protected with the grace of Allah Azzawajal, and the time gap is very short, which is the Maghrib prayer. And both opinions are strong. I personally choose to say it after Maghrib most of the time, but sometimes when I have a lecture after Maghrib and I know that the time would not be sufficient for me to say them after the Salat, I say it after Asr. So Alhamdulillah, the room is there for maneuvering. Aisha from Egypt says that she wants to know about the parents of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. And before we go to Aisha, we have Farida again.
Up to now, they don't love me. They have done many things.
Farida.
Should I leave them alone?
Farida.
I keep on with my kids.
Farida, I did not hear your question. You started hitting the road running.
I am saying I was not a Muslim. My husband converted me to Islam. Then my family hated me a lot. Up to now, they don't love me. They have done many, many things to me. Should I leave them alone and I keep on with my kids?
Okay. Any more questions?
That is my question, Shay. I want you to help me.
Inshallah, I will answer you, inshallah. And so Aisha is saying about the parents of the Prophet ﷺ. We have no knowledge of anything except what Allah tells us or the Messenger of Allah ﷺ tells us. So we also believe that the most authentic book after the Quran is Sahih al-Bukhari and Sahih Muslim. We have also An-Nasa'i, Tirmidhi, Abu Dawood, and Ibn Majah, Muwatta Imam Malik, Muslim Imam Ahmad, etc. But these two main sources of hadith are the most authentic. And to come and say that, no, this hadith is not authentic or weak, or to talk negatively about it, means that we're talking negatively about everything else in the religion. Therefore, we have to accept whatever is there. And in Sahih Imam Muslim, the Prophet himself told us that his father and his mother are in hell. So do we know more than the Prophet ﷺ? We cannot do this. Do we wish that they are in paradise? Definitely we do. But this is not what we wish. It is what Allah had commanded, and Allah Azzawajal knows best. Fardos or Fardosa from Somalia? Fardosa from Somalia?
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. How are you?
Alaikum salam wa barakatuh. I'm fine, Jazakallah khair.
Sheikh, my question is for Taraweeh. Hello?
Yes, for Taraweeh.
My question is, during Taraweeh, do you pray 11 rak'ah or 21? Because some masjids are different from each other.
Okay, I will answer you, inshallah. We have Hafsa from Nigeria.
Can you hear?
Hafsa? Hafsa? Okay, I think we've lost Hafsa. Telra from the Emirates, she says that she reads the Quran in Russian. And this is, if I may correct you, there isn't any Quran in Russian or in English. The only Quran is in Arabic. That's the only Quran we have. You have a translation of the meaning of the Quran in other languages, which means that what you're reading is a translation. It's a human effort of translating their understanding to the Arabic Quran into your language. And she says she does not speak Arabic and she cannot read Arabic. So is she rewarded by reading the translation of the meanings of the Quran in Russian? And the answer is yes, inshallah, because Allah does not burden a soul beyond what it can bear. And this is your ability. So Allah rewards you as much as you're able to do. But I would strongly advise you to enlist in schools or colleges or places that give Arabic lessons. You are in a great blessing and favor of Allah being in the Emirates, which is a Muslim country, and you have a possibility and ability to learn Arabic more than anyone else. And this gives you an advantage over most Muslims, because then you read the Quran and understand it directly in Arabic as it was revealed, and so is for the Sunnah. So it's a little bit hard, but try your best and Allah would be with you. Noura from the Emirates.
Hello, assalamu alaikum, sir.
Samtullah.
I have a question. I am now sitting on Idda and I want to do Etiquette, inshallah. So I want to know
is it
I
Idda
can
of
do it at home.
Noura, is it Idda for
widow?
Okay,
widow.
okay. And you want to go for I'tikaf?
Yeah, and I want to do. I want to know if it is possible to do at home.
Okay.
And then what time started the Ida and the ending? I mean, what time the started of the Etiquette and the ending time?
Okay, I will answer you, inshallah. Any more questions?
And no more, but I want to clarify that I am staying at home alone with my toddler. So may I attend his need? I have 2 years old, like that. So, and then what is things that I should avoid? You're
staying with your son or your father?
My son, 2 years old.
Okay.
We are alone at home.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're quite welcome. Alaikum salam. Salah from Qatar, he's saying something about Shia and what is the difference between Shia and why is the Saudi government ordered the execution of Sheikh Nimr or whatever. I don't know what you're talking about, but I know that there was a cleric who made blasphemous statements about our Prophet ﷺ, and he went public against Mother Aisha about all the companions, and he did something that went to court and the law said its verdict. So what's wrong in that? We have courts here. So if the judge gives a verdict of flogging someone, of executing someone, this is the law. It has to be respected. It has to be followed. Let alone that infidel made a blasphemous statement. He cursed Mother Aisha. He cursed Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman. And this is what the hardcore Rafida, whether they are Ithna Ashar or Imamiyya, do. If they don't do it, let them come in public and say. So you cannot say, no, we're alike, we're Muslims. Are we? Are we alike? Let us see, compare apple to apple. We believe in Al-Hasan wal-Hussein to be the masters of the youth in Jannah, in paradise. Do you believe in that? So definitely. So alhamdulillah, we do not curse any of the Ahlul Bayt. Do you curse any of the Ahlul Bayt? Said, no, definitely. We love and believe in the wives of the Prophet ﷺ to be our mothers. Do you believe in that? Said, no. Aha. Why? Said, Hafsa, the daughter of Umar, Aisha, the daughter of Abu Bakr, they're all infidels, they're kafir, they're in hell and they're cursed. Are you crazy? These are the wives of the Prophet ﷺ. So not only that, all the companions are liars and they are traitors and they have betrayed the Prophet ﷺ, except Ammar ibn Yasir, except Salman al-Farisi, except 4 or 5 of them. And the rest are all in hell. Are you a Muslim? Whoever believes in such things that I have just stated is a kafir. Take it from me to the United Nations. He is a kafir. If you add insult to injury, open their biggest book, which is Al-Kafi, which is like Sahih al-Bukhari to us. And it says in black and white that the book, the Quran that the Muslims read is nothing related to what Allah has revealed to Jibreel. They have their own Fatima Quran. And they say that this is 70 times bigger than the Quran you have, and there is not a single letter of what you have in it. Now, one of the two, either you believe in this, then you're a full-fledged kafir, and you're in hell, and we cannot say salam to you, and we cannot eat your slaughtering, whether you pray 5 times or 10 times or a gazillion times a day, because this is conviction, this is belief. Or you say, no, akhi, this is a fabrication, we don't believe in this, and in this case, you have to come up in the public and say, this is a fabrication. We Shia do not believe in Al-Kafi. We do not believe in Al-Tabrasi or Al-Kalini or whatever names you have, because they have said blasphemous things. In this case, we have no beef with you, akhi. We have no problem with you. But to come and say, no, we are alike and we're a minority, why are you doing this? This is blasphemy. This is kufr. To talk against Abu Bakr, Umar, who else is there to carry Islam to us other than these great companions whom the Prophet ﷺ is pleased with and died while being pleased with? And if you insult the honor of the Prophet ﷺ, Aisha and Hafsa, who else is there to protect? So, akhi, I think you, and you look like in your mid-50s or 60s, you have very few or little time left. It's time to reflect and see, am I on truth or am I following the manhaj and the way of these Rafida, which is based on a vengeance and hatred. They are full of hatred to all mankind. And they are full of a vengeance, though something you and I were not involved in. But they want to avenge, they want to kill, they want to hit themselves and shed blood as if this is part of religion, and it is not. Abdullah from Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, Assalamu alaikum, ya Sheikh.
Salamullah.
My question is, we know they say if you have a slave, you feed them with what you eat, and then you clothe them with what you wear. But how about somebody who works for you and you pay them their monthly salary? Is it likewise like the slave? That's my question.
Okay, I will answer inshallah.
And then I live I'm in Jeddah now. Really, I really want to study the Quran and the meaning. I don't know if there's any location in Jeddah that they offer that. So if you could help me with that, so I will go and spend some of my time learning the Quran. And that's
okay.
One thing I want to ask.
Got your question, inshallah. I will answer you, inshallah. I don't think we have time for more calls. Alia from Saudi Arabia, she says that can her mother give sadaqah from her father's wealth without his knowledge? Something that he's not using for 3-4 years. Can she dispose of it in charity without his knowledge? The answer is no, it's his. You have to take his permission first. And she says that if a person while reciting a long surah forgets an ayah, can he jump to another surah? There's nothing wrong in that, providing he says Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim and he as a divider between the two so that he would not mix two surahs without any legitimate reason. So by separating, by saying Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim and moving to another surah, this is permissible inshallah. Farida from Saudi Arabia, she says that she's a revert and her in-laws or her parents, her kinship, are abusing her because she's a Muslim and they're not. And they're making problems to her and causing him a lot of trouble. So she says, do I have to still see them and connect to them, or should I stay with my kids and lead my life in peace? The answer is, if you're talking about your in-laws, no, you don't have to see them. And if you don't see them at all, you're not sinful at the sight of Allah Azzawajal. Your kinship, your parents, your siblings, your cousins, your uncles and aunts, you must connect to them to the best of your ability. So if you're in a foreign country and you can't see them, SMS them, call them every now and then, use Skype, whatever means possible. If you're there, then occasionally a visit of a couple of minutes just to break the ice and leave before they get the chance to harm you or abuse you or say what angers you is good. But you should not cut your kinship. Firdosa says, Taraweeh, is it 11 or 21? The Prophet ﷺ used to pray either 11 or 13, as per the hadith of Mother Aisha and Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with them. Yet he never restricted that. And you have to be careful. If someone tells you, how many times did the Prophet ﷺ perform Hajj? You'd say once. So if someone says, in this case, you must not perform more than one Hajj in your lifetime. Otherwise, you would be innovating. This is nonsense. The Prophet encouraged us to perform Hajj as much as possible. And he also encouraged us to pray night prayer without giving us any limitation. And therefore, if you pray 11, this is good. If you increase that to 23, there's no problem. If you increase it to more than that, then you have no problem at all with this, inshallah. We have a few remaining questions. I will address them tomorrow, inshallah. And until then, fi amanillah, wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Beyond our Prophet Rasulullah, peace of Allah and blessings of Allah. Beyond Muhammad Habib Allah, peace of Allah and blessings of Allah.